All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Rob at Smirking Gun Reviews, and we are back with another episode of The Expanse from Season 2. We are all the way up to Episode 12. It's called The Monster and the Rocket. So full spoilers ahead for another great episode, almost perfect for me as far as it goes. But first I have to talk about a couple of things. So I've mentioned this a little bit on my other reviews, but I feel like I need to do this for The Expanse, and that for people who watch these reviews. I realize that a lot of people who watch these Expanse reviews pretty much solely only watch these reviews and none of my other content. So on some of my other videos I've had to explain this. And this is just so that we don't have any misunderstandings later. Okay, on my channel, whether it's my favorite show or something I just hate, I will be as honest as I have to be about how I feel about it. So I've noticed that I've felt a little bit differently about the current back half of, like, since episode 5. I have felt a little differently about this show, just this much. I do that a lot. And so don't take it personally. I call out every single show or movie or game or whatever on things that I either don't like or find stupid, or I just have to be honest about it and how I feel. None of these are attacks on your liking of a show or how you feel about it. These are just my personal takes. I will not sugarcoat it. If you just come to these reviews to hear your opinion regurgitated, then you are not watching the right videos. You shouldn't be watching this channel. That's the first thing. I just want to get that kind of out of the way because I feel like I've felt a little more critical of some of these episodes where they're really good, but I'm pointing out things a lot that people may not quite like what I'm saying. So, anyway, the other thing was why I'm wearing this shirt is because last episode I wanted to bring back a topic that kind of came up in season 1. And that is what I really respect about what this story is doing is something that I really respected about the X-Files, which is that the government conspiracy in the X-Files and the government conspiracy in the Expanse is quite similar. And it's a direction that I respected then and I respect now, is that even though what the government is doing is despicable, I can at least wrap my head around it, which is, and it be more realistic, which is if an alien technology or an alien race or life form itself were to be introduced to ourselves, the human race, how would we react to it? How would we do it? And I feel like both shows are handling it the way governments do, which is that we would be doing some unspeakable things to save the human race. Now in the X-Files and on this it appears they're doing kind of the same thing where there were experiments being done for part of the race to survive. In X-Files it was the alien virus, in this it's the protomolecule. And that while experimenting on children on both shows is terrible, heinous, awful, unforgivable, it's at least something I can wrap my head around, that how it would really be. These people that make these terrible decisions that should be shot, that should be killed, if this is what it takes to survive, do we even deserve to survive kind of situations. And so I do respect that kind of realistic take on this. So I just wanted to bring that up. I forgot to bring that up last episode. I meant to. As far as this episode goes, it has some of the best stuff as far as politics. And again, I hate to bring up Game of Thrones, but Christian to me is like the Tyrion of this show. And Aaron Wright, damn dude. So let's talk about the stuff though that I didn't really care for as much. And that is, I've said it in the last review, I did not agree with the team splitting up. That is story driven. It's drama for drama's sake to split them up because you're sending, like I said, Amos, I didn't know where they were going with the hunting down this thing, if they were getting out of the ship or not. So yeah, since it's all in the ship and not getting out to hunt this thing down, fine, Amos is with Nagata. I still don't like why Nagata left. This whole guilt over Eros thing, look, maybe I have a problem, maybe it's just me. I just don't think that she should be feeling like, this is, again, just me. I don't think she should be throwing herself to the wolves who wouldn't do the same for her. Okay? You yell fire in a theater and everybody comes charging and running over each other without any care in the world. People on the Titanic were trying to sneak on lifeboats. Okay, in a life or death situation, people turn into animals. They do not get in a line because one great big dude says, hey, everybody get back. We're going to do this thing that just wouldn't happen. If you've got all those people pounding against the thing, you open those doors, they're going to charge you without thinking of anything but survival. And they would end up killing themselves. They would ruin it for everyone. They wouldn't line up all calmly and crying and peacefully. It just wouldn't happen. And her going out there to sacrifice herself for it, to me, is stupid. I just don't like it. It's a character choice that they made for her to go on this arc. And I just don't like this arc. She's stronger than that. And if anything, I thought it was Alex that had the big problem with leaving people behind. And so I would have thought he'd have been the one that's saying, oh, look, I'm going to take the Rossi and me and Nagata are going to go save these people. And then Holden and Amos could have gone out there to fight the thing or find the thing. But I guess, because I guess neither of them know how to pilot the ship. So again, they had that because of the different characters' attributes that things got set up this way. And so I don't like it, but I mean, I was still on the edge of my seat after all that being said, because I was waiting for something else to happen, because there's still the blockade. So it doesn't mean that they're not going to get blown out of the sky. Now the thing with Holden and Alex, Holden suddenly just becoming, wanting to kill this thing so badly that he's willing to possibly go into a trap that this thing could be setting, is a little bit too reckless to me. And no matter what Alex is saying, you're going to refuse to fly, I get that they're all, Alex can taste, it on his lips that this is the moment to get rid of this thing once and for all, but really that's a little bit naive to think that this would be it. I think what killing it represents is a big thing. And then you have Prax on the ship, the father who just wants to find out what it is to that stupid thing of, we don't understand it. Well, of course he's going to react that way because he thinks it might be his kid. And leave me, I'll go make contact with it. This part of the episode, while I wasn't not enjoying myself, I just kept going, I don't understand it. I understand it, but I don't have to like it. I just don't. I just felt like them splitting up just for the sake of the story on this thin thing that Nagata is feeling guilty, and Amos goes kind of where she does because he's hurt. And you have to have Alex go with Holden because Alex can fly. And you take Prax with him because the thing might be his daughter. And so that's just really thin to me. So, and now the thing's on their ship, which I guess if that's where they wanted to go anyway, was to get that thing onto the ship. Because I was thinking this thing ripped through the airlock. All right. So they're in this closed-in space trying to track this thing down. What's to stop it from just jumping onto the ship and getting in itself? And then we see that that's exactly what it does. It got you in close, and now it's got away off the planet. So anyway, let's get to the part that did make this show pretty much perfect for me, and that's on Earth. So Aaron Wright and Christian have their, well, first Aaron Wright has that kind of heart-to-heart with his son, which is nice to see in a show like this where they give somebody who's basically a villain, try to, we get to see him as a human being and worried about his family. Somebody who regrets what he did. And they don't usually do that on shows in a way that you care. I still think he would need to be punished, but I do think that at this point in the episode, at the very beginning, that he is trying to make up for what he's done. Then with Christian and him talking about, give him the medal, all that stuff, that was good too. And we get where Christian has to get on the ship with Bobby and, how do you say his name? Kotyar? That was pretty good. I like Bobby and his back and forth quite a bit. I don't know what they're setting up there, if anything. Maybe some mutual respect, at least. I like how, they're looking at her kind of like because she's not been off Earth all this time. And so they go to meet Mao on his terms. And then Aaron Wright, you wonder what he's up to. So you see the little vial that he's got. And I go, okay, so is he going to poison himself? And then you get to the next scene where he brings in the Mars version of himself, taking him to an opera. They come home, they come back to his place. They have some scotch, some 107-year-old scotch, and agree to take off their masks and talk plainly and honestly for about a half an hour. It's kind of strange, though, it was just a half an hour. So then I go, okay, he's pouring drinks for both of them. So I guess maybe he poisoned each other because he was kind of making it very cryptic. And so when dude falls over and dies, and tells him like, like they go through with all the exposition of what went on and there had to be a loser and it's not going to be me. I still thought he was doing the right, like he was making a move. He was in the game. It was perfect. How he sold it, how he got himself psyched up to freak out and go, we need a medic in here. And so that was all really, really well done. And then you get back to Christian and Mao. And again, Mao basically trying to, he's this guy who doesn't really, to me, have a real legitimate leg to stand on, except now that they've presented themselves to him, they're kind of at his mercy, but they were kind of counting on him to, this was a tactic. Everybody's got their little playing chess out here and everybody's making their moves. And while they're having their conversation that she doesn't want, she's not going to back down, he doesn't want to back down. In the meantime, Aaron Wright takes this opportunity to take out the Mars stuff that they were going to get the monster, the creature, whatever. He takes out that ship that helps the Rocinante get the hell out of Dodge. And basically uses that to screw both of them over, which I have to say was masterfully done. I didn't see that coming at all. And that shows good writing. Okay, so even though I don't like some of the choices they've been making lately, then they go ahead and they do shit like this that makes me go, yeah, that's why this is the best sci-fi I think I've seen on television ever. And so he basically, throws it in Christian's face. Earth first, man. Earth first. And now you're going to come back here to Mao. He says you're going to come back and get back in line and continue the work. And that's just incredible. Because now Christian and Bobby and Kotyar, how you pronounce his damn name, they're stuck there. Which doesn't, does anybody know they're there that would come get them? Because it doesn't sound like Aaron Wright plans on letting her come back. So they're for now trapped on this place. I don't know why, I guess I just wanted to see Mao get taken out right then and there. But whatever. But it is fantastic. That move was just not what I saw coming. When Aaron Wright seemed to be done. He seemed completely remorseful. He seemed to see things the way they needed to go down. But when he starts saying that you threw me to the wolves and all this stuff, I loved it. Now, people are going to be like, I hate that guy or whatever. Come on, that was masterful. That is playing the game. You got both your enemies in one place, and you just took out the Mars version of you. You stopped them from getting the proto-molecule human whatever. And so now it's a whole new game. And this is where I respect it. This is where the story gets back on track for me. These moves. Now with the Rocinante, making its way through the blockade, Holden calling out, all these guys out, saying we're going to fire on you guys. Again, another cool move on their part, because like he says, they're saving their bullets for each other. So even though, like I said at the beginning, that this was almost a perfect episode to me, it was. The complaints that I have at the beginning about everything between the broken team, seems like I was complaining quite a bit, but it's small potatoes when you get an end, like the other part of it is so damn good, it makes you kind of forget. For me, it makes me kind of, temper down my feelings about other stuff in the episode, because that was just genius. And again, the visuals were just absolutely awesome. So anyway, we've only got one episode left, and I will be doing that as soon as I'm done watching it. So I got to get this video uploaded and start watching so we can finish season 2, and then we will start season 3 tomorrow, because I got other things I want to do today. So anyway, if you liked this video, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, hit the button for all notifications, the bell, the imaginary bell that I always point to. And that's it. So this is Rob at Smirking Gun Review saying have a great night, and we will see you in the next video. Bye. If I can turn the thing off.